Have you ever set a goal, felt excited about it, and then for some reason or another, you didn't follow through? Maybe you procrastinated, made excuses, or convinced yourself it probably just wasn't worth it anymore. But what if I told you that it wasn't just laziness or a lack of motivation, but it was self sabotage? And the worst part is, you probably don't even realize that you're actually doing it. Welcome back to my VIP Academy, guys. For those who are new here, where we inspire change through self discovery. Today, we're going to be looking at one of my arch nemesis, which is self sabotage. Why we do it, the most common ways it shows up in our lives, and most importantly, how do we stop doing it for good? Before we start, let me know in the comments, what is that one habit that you know that is actually holding you back from achieving your goals? Let's work on getting through them together. So, what exactly is self sabotage anyway? Let's use a practical example to define this. So let's say you want to get in shape, right? And you buy the gym clothes, you sign up for the membership, and you even start watching fitness videos. But then when it's time to actually work out, you tell yourself that, oh, I'm too tired, or I'm going to start it on Monday, or you just don't have the time. Sounds familiar, right? That is self-sabotage in action. Self-sabotage is when we unconsciously work against our own success or progress. It's like setting a goal and then pulling the rug out from under your own feet. So I've been reading this amazing book by Dr. Hendricks called The Big Leap. And one of the key ideas that he shares in his book is that many of us have an upper limit when it comes down to success. So we unconsciously hold ourselves back because we don't feel worthy of more than where we are right now. So let's look at some common self-sabotaging habits that may be hindering your growth and potential. One of the most common one of them all is fear of failure or the fear of success. This is where we deliberately avoid opportunities because deep down, you're scared of what might happen. It's similar to what I spoke about in one of my previous videos about the fear of success, and I'll link it in the cards up here if you want to check that out. But rather than a fear of failure, most people are actually afraid of success. Why? Not only do you think you don't deserve success, but your mind keeps you trapped because it thinks it's keeping you safe within your comfort zone. And this is because success demands responsibility, it demands showing up for yourself, committing to things that you said you're going to do, and it takes a lot of hard work. So unconsciously, your brain will generate excuses, maybe even making you fatigued, just to prevent you from exerting the effort that you need in order to get started. The second one is procrastination. This is where we put off important tasks, even when we know it will actually benefit us. So procrastination is a byproduct, I believe, of our inner fears, lack of inspiration, and a lack of a clear vision. When you're possessed by a vision that demands change, not just for yourself, but it will actually have a diverse impact on those around you as well, it generates all the motivation and inspiration that you actually need to consistently pursue your goals. The next one is perfectionism. Never starting or finishing something because it's not perfect, right? I delayed starting out on YouTube for at least 3 years, all because I didn't have the right gear, I didn't have the right backdrop or, the right setup. And as a result, I missed many opportunities to grow and to get ahead of the YouTube game. Now, the competition is much fiercer and it takes a lot more effort, I would say, to get started. Well, I learned one important lesson there. You either work hard now or work even harder later to make up for the time and the opportunities that you wasted. So whatever it is that you want to start, I suggest that you start out messy and improve as you go along. So clarity is not found in sitting and thinking about the thing, but actually going out there and doing the thing. The last one is negative self-talk. I think this quote by Jordan Belfort pretty much sums up the explanation for this habit. The only thing standing between you and your goal is the story you keep telling yourself as to why you can't achieve it. A man cannot rise above the level of his thinking. And for whatever reason your mind is riddled with negative thinking, maybe it's your past, maybe it's your lack of education, maybe it's where you grew up, or the people around you having, a small mindset that has probably kept you where you are. There are always going to be reasons as to why you think you can't achieve something. However, what's important to note here is that no matter the challenges you face or the challenge that you have, someone has already overcome those odds and made it out on the other side, right? So if you got no education, check out Steve Harvey and what he was able to accomplish. Is it where you grew up? Look at Miles Monroe, who grew up in the poorest parts of the Bahamas, yet his messages are still impacting the world today. I'm not saying that you should compare yourself to these people, but use their lives as a precedent to move forward. So to change your thinking, you have to start changing your input and what you're ingesting. So how can you stop self-sabotage for good and actually start making progress towards your dream life? Firstly, you want to rewire your mindset and self-awareness. You can't fix what you don't see. And if you're going to actually break the habit of being your usual self, the first step is catching yourself in the act. So start keeping a self-sabotage journal for a week. Every time you notice yourself procrastinating, doubting yourself, or making excuses, write it down. Patterns will begin to emerge, and at that moment, ask yourself, is this negative thought based on facts or is it just fear? Or am I putting things off because I'm scared of success? Did my limiting beliefs come from my parents or surroundings? And how can I actually change them? Once you identify the root of the issue, then you can begin taking the necessary steps in order to improve your life. Next, you must start taking small, imperfect action. James Clear in his book Atomic Habits says that you don't rise to the level of your goals, but you fall to the level of your systems. So many people sabotage themselves because they try to make huge changes all at once, but instead start out small. Commit to a small habit that you can consistently do to build the momentum that you need in order to get going. Action kills self-doubt, and when you take any action, no matter how small, your brain will actually start believing that you have the capabilities to do it. Lastly, you want to replace self-sabotage with self-compassion. How do you do that? Dr. Kristen Neff suggests that we should talk to ourselves like we would talk to someone that we love. We can be our hardest critic sometimes, and I'm very, very guilty of that. So if your friend came to you and they told you how much they messed up on their goals for this week, I'm sure you wouldn't say to them, oh man, you're so stupid and you're not going to achieve anything in life. Unless you're a terrible friend, of course, which I'm pretty sure that you're not. So I'm sure you would encourage them to try again and keep going, right? So giving up is worse than starting again. So if you binge watch Netflix, this week instead of actually pursuing your goals, don't just quit altogether. Just reset and start again. No guilt needed. Self-sabotage is a very sneaky little fellow. But the good news is you can break free by following these simple steps. By becoming self-aware, taking small actions, and practicing self-compassion daily. You'll start seeing major changes in your life. Now, I want to hear from you. What's one self-sabotaging habit that you're going to break in 2025? Let me know in the comments and let's hold each other accountable as we go towards our goal of becoming successful. If this video helped you, hit that like button and subscribe to this channel for more self-improvement content. See you guys in the next one.